If your mind is struggling to pick between easy options because everything feels equally wrong, like your meals, your clothes, or everything just don't seem right, or maybe you could even be jumping from task to task and not focusing on one thing, and that's causing you to kind of overwhelm and overthink things, making you feel busy but you're never productive. If that's you, this video is for you. I'm going to break down and give you simple tips that you can use in order to give you that clear mind that you're looking for. I know for myself, growing up, I personally had a hard time trying to focus on one goal. I would accomplish a task, and then like a few minutes in, I would go to another task, and then a few minutes in, I'll go to another task. Could be my ADHD. I'm not sure. But I can never focus on one thing, and in the end, it will all kind of boil down on me, and I'll be overwhelmed and just not do it all, and just kind of waste my day away, right? But I'm going to give you the tips that I use that help me clear my mind more and give me the clarity that I needed that now you have. Let's get into it. That first thing I did was clear the noise out of my head. The noise meaning the news, right? The news have a lot of information that's kind of meant to cause destruction, meant to cause chaos in your mind, which is why you see mostly people doing bad things in the world, which is why you see them trying to portray bad things. Because us as humans, we're attracted to bad things, right? We're attracted to things that unfortunately shows the bad part of human behavior. And that's why they show us so much, in order to get you into a negative mindset, which in turns causes people to want to look at it longer, right? Think about a car crash. Whenever people pass by a car crash, how come they don't just go by, but instead they look over to see what's going on, right? Because they want to check to see if something's okay. They want to check to see if something's good. There's a good thing behind them doing that, because they are going towards human nature of people wanting to check to make sure everything's okay. But it's the bad part, because we're attracted to it, and that's how they use it to their advantage. What you need to do is get rid of watching the news and clear out your head now. Because once you refocus your brain to focus on more positive things other than the news, things will change. That next one is to stop gossiping. Gossiping, talking about how's Harry May Sue been, her job. Like, gossiping itself is a bad thing, right? It doesn't help nobody at all. And also, it just shows who's the person someone should not be talking to, right? So if you have someone who gossips, whether it's your friend, coworker, mom, dad, whoever, if it's your parents, I would say distance yourself from them, right? Or talk to them if you're able to. But if it's your coworkers or friends, I would just be direct and tell them to stop gossiping. And if it doesn't like align with them, then don't talk to them no more. It's pretty much that simple when it comes to that. Next one is mostly for females. I don't think it applies to males really, but stop reading the gossip magazines, right? About the different celebrities, stuff like that. Celebrities, just random stuff, right? I don't understand. Those magazines are meant to kind of give you an opinion towards a certain person based on the beliefs of a certain person, which you can't have unless you're actually with that person or you know a little bit about them, right? Which is why if you get rid of that and you start being more intentional to what you pay attention to, then everything will change for you. Your mind won't be focused on this one thing, right? Which is that celebrity or gossiping about somebody else. Your mind will be focused on different things. Now, it's this thing, right, about a fishbowl, where everything that comes in, it stays with you, your mindset, and it affects everything in your life. But if you bring in positive things, then everything will be affected in a positive way in your life, right? Which is why you should be cognizant of what goes on inside of your head and make sure you filter those bad things out. That next one with clear noise is to get rid of those friends, family, or coworkers who don't believe you, right? But there's a difference between someone who don't believe you, but they trust what you. There's a difference between someone who trusts you and believe you, but they don't have faith in the opportunity that you're going towards, and someone who doesn't just believe in you. What do I mean? Someone who doesn't have faith, right? Think of it like your mom or your dad, right? They see this skill, this job, this thing online that seems kind of far fetched and is not available for easy use. Think of it as like a bad example, maybe, but someone who wants to go to the NBA. There's millions of kids, maybe even tens of millions of kids who want to go to the NBA, but yet very few of them go actually get an NBA. That is an example, right? The thing that you're doing now, people will tell you that you may be wrong. People may tell you that this may not be the thing for you. People may tell you that you're not built for this. But use that as your motivation. Use that as a way for you to be better. What I do recommend for you, in order for you to kind of use these thoughts, these remarks, and these inputs to your advantage, right, is to get out your phone notes and just write down their name and the quote of what they said to you. And every time you feel low, every time you feel down, pull your phone out and look down at the quotes and see where you can be better at, or where can you prove them wrong at, right? That next one is be intentional with your inputs or direction that you're trying to go to, or your direction at work. What do I mean? Commit daily to putting in work to achieve the end goal of what you're trying to do, meaning the inputs of what you're trying to do, without focusing on the outcome of the overall thing you're trying to do. Meaning that, let's say that I'm trying to record this YouTube video, but my goal is to record 100 YouTube videos this year. My main focus will not be the outcome of that goal. My main focus will be the best YouTube video I can make in that moment, in that present moment, and give as much value as I can to people who need it in that moment. Does that make sense? Now, another thing I want you to understand is don't expect anything and don't say anything, but analyze your progress. Again, don't expect anything, don't set anything, but analyze your progress. Right? There's this saying we have in the Marine Corps, which is hope for the best, but expect the worst. Meaning that do your best every single day. Daily inputs that you put in, whatever that means for you, whether it can mean making those calls every day that you need to, the minimum amount of calls, whether that could mean making the minimum amount of YouTube videos a day you can, whether that means making the minimum amount of hours at work. Do the daily inputs, right? But don't focus on that end goal. Hope for the best. Hope that you're going to get it, but don't focus on it. But analyze your progress. Meaning that for me, I created a system called the execution system. You can check in the link in the description that I use to track my habits and track the progress I do over time and help me keep my routines in the fashion that helps me keep going, right? But my overall end goal is to get to those videos, but that's not my goal. My goal is to put the inputs in every single day. That should be the goal you should be working towards, right? That goal will always be in the back of your head, right? You can't really get rid of it, but what you can do is do the inputs today. Now, that next one is to learn how to prioritize tasks. Don't focus on too many tasks at once. That will lower the perceived chance of you completing one. So let's say, for example, that's your job, right? You have to send an email. One tab you have to send an email out. One tab you have writing out a newsletter. One tab you have scrolling on YouTube, which is you do what you want to do, I guess. One tab you have a video conference, but you never get nothing done because you have too many tabs open at once. So what you can do is focus on one tab at a time and use this method called prioritization. Word flow, man. So meaning that focus on one task A, B, and C, and whichever task is the highest priority, focus on that one first, and then break it down. It's just saying this analogy called eat the frog. What do I mean by eat the frog? To give an example, let's say you were going to dinner, and you know you're having a steak dinner, and you have a choice. Would you eat the frog before, or would you eat the frog afterwards? Right? Now, I'm not coming towards you, but if you're really not smart, if you're really dumb, you would say, "Oh, I eat the frog afterwards," right? But no, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would you eat the delicious steak first and then eat the frog afterwards, which is the dirty work? Why would you do the easy work first and then do the hard work later? It made more sense to do the hard work first and get that over with, and then go to the delicious stuff. The delicious stuff meaning the easy work, right? Use that when you're trying to assign your task based on prioritization, and focus on one task at a time. Otherwise, you will not get anything done, right? This is other saying that I want to throw out there that I got from Alex Monzi is you have many different fires going on, right? But you have to focus on one fire only and allow the others to burn in that moment while you're focusing on that one fire. And once that one fire is extinguished, that's when you go to the next fire and accomplish that fire next. Now, that next one is to develop gratitude and question your thinking of everything, pretty much. But I want to start with taking the time to be grateful for everything that's around you. When was the last time you actually did that? Right? Gratefulness helps you develop a mindset of abundance. Because if you live in lack, then you're just lacking. Because lack and abundance are two different things that go together always. You can't have lack without abundance. And you can't have abundance without lack. All it takes for you is to develop that gratitude and see what you can learn from a situation or something that you're going through and find the abundance in that moment, right? So what are you thankful for? For me, I'm thankful for my computer that I can use to type in. I'm thankful for my microphone. I'm thankful for this camera that I'm talking to you from. I'm thankful for my light that I have to shine my face. I'm thankful for my protein drink, right? What are you actually thankful for? Write those things down or just think about it. You don't need to write it down, but just think about what you're grateful for. And maybe that should help you develop a more abundance mindset. Now, for me, I try to get my walks in now. I'm getting older and my bones are getting a little bit more lucid, right? So I try to go on silent walks to just think about things that I plan on doing in life or just my business, right? Or what I do, I listen to podcasts on my walks as well, in order to form new concepts, in order to get new ideas on it. Don't spend like a whole hour even doing that, right? And question your thinking. Question people's beliefs. Question everything. Because once you do that, you start seeing reality based on what you know, based on what you experience, then that is when your whole world will change.